It is now clear the U.S. GPS has crumbled as China's Beidou navigation satellite system is gaining ground by the day, with its proponents claiming that it has surpassed the American GPS in terms of accuracy and reliability. But is it really better than the GPS, which has been the global standard for satellite navigation for decades?
China has just announced the completion and launch of the Beidou 3 navigation satellite system.
One analyst has called Beidou with Beijing's declaration of independence from the West, and I think that sums it up beautifully.
CGTN recently posted a video showing the differences between China's Beidou system and other global navigation satellite systems.
Are the American systems not visible because the U.S. constellation is smaller than Beidou's system?
EU has Galileo, China has Beidou, India IRNSS, and Russia has GLONASS. Russia and China have signed contracts on mutual deployment of navigation stations. Russia's GLONASS stations will be located in Changchun, Urumqi, and Shanghai, and China's Beidou system stations in Obninsk, Irkutsk, and Petropavlovsk-Kamchatsky. Used simultaneously, the Russian and Chinese systems, GLONASS and Beidou, will increase the accuracy and reliability of navigation. Therefore, we are sincerely interested in wider cooperation in using the GLONASS and Beidou systems, as well as navigation technologies based on them. President Xi Jinping said during a video conference with President Putin that China and Russia should ramp up cooperation in the trade, economic, and energy sphere. Both leaders expressed their satisfaction with the rapid development of relations between the two nations. Moscow and Beijing share the same vision of the global transformations now underway. President Putin, when highlighting the West's unprecedented provocations, Putin emphasized that Russia and China are defending their positions of principle and national interests. China is ready to gradually resume the normal cross-border traffic with all countries, including Russia, Xi Jinping said. The Russian president would hold several more working meetings with President Xi, which will be of a non-public nature. Russia and China's space agencies recently inked a cooperation deal on mutually supplementing the GLONASS and Beidou global satellite navigation systems. 2 lunar missions are planned in 2026 to 2030. At the Russia-Africa Forum, a drone countermeasure system SIRP was presented, which is capable of simultaneously fight a whole swarm of drones within a radius of 5 kilometers, using the Chinese Beidou satellite system. The system is designed to combat small drones and works without human intervention, protecting both stationary and mobile objects. The developers claim that with the use of several of these systems, it is possible to establish a reliable defense of an extended infrastructure. The system can disrupt the channel used to control the drone, disable its navigation equipment, disrupt the UAV's orientation in space, and prevent the operator from completing the mission. SIRP-VS neutralizes GPS, GLONASS, Beidou signals in L1, L2, L5 bands, and disrupts drone control via Wi-Fi.
China only plays with a winner-take-all scenario. They've never played by the rules. They don't see us as a competitor. They see us as an enemy. They see us as an enemy. They see us as an enemy.
The Rose Electronica holding company said that there is already a demand for the SIRP abroad and contracts may be signed in the near future. The first China-Africa Beidou Navigation Satellite System, BDS, Cooperation Forum was organized by the China Satellite Navigation Office, China National Space Administration, Secretariat of the Chinese Follow-up Committee of the Forum on China-Africa Cooperation, Ministry of Digital Economy and Telecommunications of Senegal, and Education, Science, Technology and Innovation Department of the African Union Commission. Government representatives, industry leaders and researchers from China, experts and scholars from various African national administrations and the African Union attended the event, which was held on November 5, 2021, and shared their thoughts at the forum. One of the resolutions of the event was a joint agreement to take advantage of the Beidou system to enhance Africa's social, economic, and environmental developments. Furthermore, representatives from nearly 50 African nations, including 8 government ministers and 8 ambassadors to China, participated in the event. Speaking at the forum, the chairman of the China Satellite Navigation Committee, He Yubin, commented, "China will join hands with Africa to promote Beidou-based services on the continent to foster local industries and businesses and help to create more jobs and reduce poverty." The African Union Commission's Director of Human Resources, Science and Technology, Mahama Ouedraogo, reiterated that Beidou will become a significant tool in Africa's development and expressed the Union's anticipation to broader collaboration with China in giving access to satellite navigation to more users on the continent to inject new momentum into local economies. In addition, the Secretary General of China National Space Administration, Xu Hongliang, said that his administration is dedicated to sharing China's space achievements with Africa to nurture the continent's science and technology. Furthermore, it is also determined to improve space industry professionals' exchanges and training to facilitate African countries' efforts to grow their space capabilities. The convergence of Chinese and Russian strategies in MENA, including the Eastern Mediterranean region, poses an ongoing geostrategic challenge to the West and NATO's southern flank. MENA regional dynamics are optimal for China and Russia to embolden Iran, capitalize on Saudi Arabia-Iran rivalry, and compel U.S. ally Israel to hedge against great power competition. In the geopolitics of petropowers, China is the net beneficiary of discounted Russian oil and consumer of Saudi Arabian and Iranian energy sources. Saudi Arabia supplies 70% of China's oil and 40% of its natural gas. China's imports of Iranian oil reached 1.2 million BPD in 2022, a 130% increase from 2021, and will continue to increase. China's BRI and GSI's integration of its civil-military fusion commercial, technological, and surveillance capabilities into MENA countries' infrastructure development plans will gradually undercut Moscow's leverage and maximize Beijing's ability to shape MENA's geopolitical landscape to China's advantage. China's foreign policy approach in the Middle East reflects Xi Jinping's great power diplomacy with Chinese characteristics model. China's primary comprehensive strategic partnerships include 5 MENA countries: Iran, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, the UAE, and Israel. China has been the Arab world's leading trade partner since 2020, surpassing $330 billion in two-way trade since 2021. In addition to signing a 25-year agreement with Iran in 2021, China has similar agreements with 12 Arab MENA countries. The Suez Canal, Red Sea, Gulf of Aden, Bab al-Mandab, Strait of Hormuz, and Indian Ocean are key waterways and choke points of China's maritime Silk Road, interlinking Africa and MENA with Asia through maritime shipping routes. Chinese stakes in Mediterranean ports, including Piraeus, Genoa, Trieste, Taranto, Haifa, Ashdod, Djibouti, and Sokhna, facilitate China's expanding surveillance and intelligence collection efforts through commerce. China's 3 top port operators, China Merchants Port Holdings, COSCO Group, and China Shipping Terminal Development, are Chinese state-owned enterprises. ZPMC, one of the world's largest ship-to-shore crane manufacturers and subsidiary of China Communications Construction Company, a state-owned enterprise and contractor for BRI projects, embeds surveillance technology in their cranes, according to the Pentagon. MENA is an integral region in China's BRI and GSI. Iraq was the region's top recipient of BRI funding, $10.5 billion in 2021. Through the BRI, Chinese state-owned enterprises have contributed to myriad MENA projects in smart city grids, 4G and 5G communications, artificial intelligence, cloud computing, collaboration on Beidou navigation satellite system, and the Green Silk Road of New Energy, among others. The BRI is also supporting the Vision 2030 plans of Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and Egypt. Through the GSI, China intends to establish a new security framework in the Middle East with the support of the League of Arab States. With a military base in Djibouti, China is reportedly exploring Bahrain, Iran, Oman, Saudi Arabia, and Yemen as possible sites for new bases. China is assisting Saudi Arabia in establishing its first drone factory and with Riyadh's domestic development of ballistic missiles. China has also sold planes, drones, and missiles to the armies of the United Arab Emirates, Egypt, Iraq, Jordan, Turkey, Morocco, and Algeria, according to an Atlantic Council report 2023. Iran will become an official member of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, which is co-led by China and Russia, in April 2023. China-Russia cooperation represents a tactical alliance that serves China's long-term strategic advantage. MENA's tribal and autocratic political culture is conducive for Moscow and Beijing to coalesce an authoritarian counterweight to the West. China and Russia, in cooperation with Iran, are galvanizing autocratic grievances against Western democracy. With Ukraine as the focal point of the current conflict in Europe and Taiwan as the fulcrum in a plausible future conflict in the Indo-Pacific, Israel will most likely be the crucible of confluence between geostrategic and historical forces in the MENA and Eastern Mediterranean. The success of the Beidou network signifies that China's status as a world power and its ability to rival the West in many aspects has entered a new stage. This is undoubtedly a major technological achievement, marking an important step for China's influence as a world power. This is a declaration of technological independence from the West and has extensive geopolitical influence. The Chinese military has long sought to have its own global satellite navigation system. China has undoubtedly incorporated the most advanced anti-jamming and anti-deception capabilities into the Beidou version used by the military.